वेलकम टू अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट वीडियो। तो ये वीडियो में मैं बात करने वाला हूँ एंड मच मोर इम्पॉर्टेंटली मैं शेयर करने वाला हूँ कि मैं कैसे एट द एज ऑफ 19 आई वाज एबल टू मूव टू दुबई ऑन माई ओन। एंड अगर किसी और को मूव करना है या फिर अगर किसी और कोई और ये वीडियो देख रहा है जिसको ब्रेक थ्रू करना है थ्रू देयर करंट सिचुएशन और थ्रू करंट लोकेशन, तो उनके लिए डेफिनेटली ये बहुत ज्यादा हेल्पफुल होने वाला है। सो आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू शेयर माई ओन स्टोरी एंड माई एक्सपीरियंस कि मैंने क्या क्या सीखा पिछले एक साल में। बिकॉज राइट नाउ आई एम 20, व्हेन आई केम टू दुबई आई वाज 19 ईयर्स ओल्ड। एक साल हो गए, तो पिछले एक साल से आई हैव बीन ऑन एंड ऑफ इन दुबई। If you're new to my channel and you don't know about me, मैं एक full time trader हूँ and I run an e-commerce business as well and I do other multiple businesses alongside trading and fund managing. So along those lines वहाँ से मैंने मूव किया दुबई में एंड आई थिंक द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम जब मैं आया था दैट वाज एग्जैक्टली 1 year बैक फ्रॉम नाउ। आई थिंक इन जनवरी और दिसंबर मैं आया था फर्स्ट टाइम एंड देयर आर 5 वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स जो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प की थी एंड जो आई वुड रादर से जो भी ये वीडियो देख रहा है जिसका भी अगर प्लान है मूव करने का, नॉट जस्ट दुबई बट एनीवेयर न्यू जहाँ वो कभी नहीं गए, एनीवेयर न्यू जहाँ वो किसी को जानते नहीं है, ये वीडियो उनके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल होने वाला है। सो हाउ डिड आई मूव एग्जैक्टली? सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल you need 5 very very important things. The very first and the most important thing being value or skill. ऑब्वियसली अगर आप कहीं मूव करने का प्लान कर रहे हो या फिर कहीं और ऐसी जगह मूव करने का प्लान कर रहे हो जहाँ आप कभी नहीं गए हो या फिर आप अपनी करंट लोकेशन से फ्रीडम चाहते हो या फिर कोई और कंट्री में जाना मूव करना चाहते हो, तो ऑब्वियसली यू नीड अ स्किल सेट। एक ऐसी स्किल सेट जो लोकेशन से मैटर नहीं करता। ऑब्वियसली दैट यू कैन प्रैक्टिस एनीवेयर एल्स। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल दैट फॉर मी दैट वाज ट्रेडिंग एंड दैट वाज फंड मैनेजिंग एंड उसके लिए आई डोंट नीड टू बी एनीवेयर स्पेसिफिक। आई कैन बी एनीवेयर इन एनी पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड मैं अपना काम कर सकता हूँ। So that's the most important thing, you need to be a valuable person or you need to have a certain skill set, because if you don't have a value to provide, value to add, or if you don't have a skill set, then basically you're a tourist. Then फिर आप खाली घूमने जा सकते हो कहीं और पे and again you have to come back into your own previous location and वहाँ पे काम करना पड़ेगा। As simple as that. That's the very very first important thing and for me that was trading. So that's how I and जब मैं जब आया था पिछले साल and at that point of time I was I think 3 to 4 years into trading and वो टाइम पे मैं टेक ऑफ कर रहा था मेरे जर्नी में and exactly at the right point of time मैंने वो switch किया। exactly at the right point of time I decided to move even though that was a very risky and that was a very big decision for a 19-year-old, but I still took that decision and I absolutely don't regret that particular decision and I'm absolutely proud of myself because मैंने वो decision लिया। Obviously ये decision लेना सबके लिए tough होगा but it only depends that and you don't know what's gonna happen and you have no idea what could potentially happen, so risk तो आपको 100% लेना पड़ेगा। That's one thing for me, right? And second and the most important thing obviously is money. You need money obviously, especially in Dubai. Dubai is one of the most expensive cities in the entire world. So आप अगर सोचोगे कि यार मैं 1 लाख कमा रहा हूँ, 50,000 रुपये कमा रहा हूँ महीने का, मैं दुबई चले जाऊँगा, इट्स नॉट प्रैक्टिकल एट ऑल। यू कैन नॉट सर्वाइव 50,000 रुपीज़ और 1 लाख रुपीज़ अ मंथ इन दुबई। यहाँ मेरा रेंट सिर्फ 80,000 रुपये है। just the rent that I pay for this particular apartment is 80,000 rupees a month and trust me I am living in a very conservative place. अभी तक मैंने spread out भी नहीं किया अच्छे से, अभी तक मैं सिर्फ अकेले रह रहा हूँ, so that's the reason I haven't gotten a very nice apartment for myself. But the moment I decide to call my mom over here, to call my brother over here, to call my family over here, that's the moment I'm going to take a bigger and a larger, much larger apartment and uska rent will be much higher than what I'm paying right now. So obviously you need money. You need money to survive in a different country. So obviously for me that was not an issue because I was by the grace of God I was making good money at that point of time and मैं पैसे कमा रहा था and now I know for a fact कि बहुत सारे लोग मुझसे पूछेंगे स्पेशली इंडियंस और जो भी इंडिया से देख रहा है, so स्पेशली वो लोग ये पूछेंगे कि कितना पैसा आपके पास होना चाहिए या फिर कितनी इनकम स्ट्रीम्स आपके पास होना चाहिए to comfortably move. So I'll just share because there is no right or wrong answer to this, so I'll just share what my situation was, right? So I was easily making roughly around 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month at that point of time last year and for me trading was a good source of income and I was also making other money from my other income sources, right? And at that point of time I came with an emergency fund of 5 lakh rupees. So apart from the income that I had of 2-3 lakh rupees a month, I also collected 5 lakh rupees as an emergency fund which was obviously not liquid but वो मैंने crypto में रखा हुआ था। I believe I had more than 10 lakh rupees invested but मैं 5 लाख रुपए लेके आया था और मैंने 5 लाख रुपए यू कैन से एज साइड फंड्स, इमरजेंसी फंड्स रखे हुए थे इन केस यहाँ पे कुछ पैसों की जरूरत होती है तो. सो आई वुड एडवाइज दैट if you have a good income source of at least 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month, which does not depend on your location, that's amazing. Second thing is you need an emergency fund of at least 10 lakh rupees. Now this can be different for people with families, this can be different for people who are living alone. So if you're alone, then obviously 10 lakh rupees is more than enough, but if you are someone who has a family, then you should multiply 10 lakh rupees by the number of family members that you have. So 10 lakh rupees per person for an emergency fund. So if you have 4 members, probably 40 lakh rupees should be something that you should count on. A lot of people might think ये बहुत ज़्यादा amount है, but it is not a big amount at all, because यहाँ पे क्या हो सकता है you don't know. Because first of all, अगर आप कभी आए नहीं हो, you have absolutely no idea कि क्या हो सकता है और क्या नहीं हो सकता है. So you have to be prepared for the absolute worst, right? And वैसे तो मेरे साथ कुछ हुआ नहीं, वैसा कुछ sort of का इतना कुछ बड़ा हुआ नहीं, but yeah, that's one thing. So that's the second most important thing, which is obviously money. So you need not just money. So it's not like you'll ask daddy for 40 lakh rupees and move to Dubai. Obviously not. At some point of time that will also come to an end. So you need two important things in terms of money. First is a good and consistent stream of income. Second is obviously a good and significant amount of emergency fund. So ये दोनों चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा important हो जाती है in terms of money. Now coming to the third point, and third is the absolute most important point. I would say out of the all 5 important points, this is the absolute most important point, because it's the important point कुछ नहीं है, which is having the right network. Now trust me, you could be prepared for absolutely everything and anything, but if you end up with the wrong set of people, everything can go to zero. And I don't want to talk about much in detail, but I unfortunately ended up also in such an incident which could have impacted my journey drastically, but somehow I dealt with it. So network is very important. So you need people who are already established over here, who know what they're doing and who are credible and reliable in this particular place. So for me, luckily I had my mentor, who's also currently my mentor, which is Ramesh bhai. So he's been in the Dubai since the last 17 years. He's working at a very high level. He's got his own firm in DIFC. So he's a top level guy, of course. And I was fortunate, or I would say privileged enough, to have him in my network and to have him as my network. So whatever problem that I have faced over here, whatever difficulties or challenges I have faced, he has always been there to guide me, and I'm absolutely grateful to him. But this is very important and critical, because imagine you are going to a country that you have never been to before, and आप ऐसी जगह जा रहे हो जहाँ आप किसी को जानते भी नहीं हो, and in case something goes down, what are you exactly going to do? So for the people who are completely new, the most important thing for you, and I know obviously जो मतलब majority लोग जो ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं उनके पास पैसे भी नहीं होंगे उतने जितने मैंने बोले, but by the time you collect money or by the time you build that level of financial stability, you should also equally give importance to building your network over here in Dubai. Now, networking is something that I need to talk separately, which I also teach in my Alpha Association community. But network is something very important. So I'll give you just a little bit of reasoning behind how to network. So obviously, if you want such reliable and successful people to give you their time, obviously you have to be a valuable person, which brings me back to point number 1, that you need to have a good skill set and value. Because अगर आपके पास value नहीं है, आपके पास skill set नहीं है, no one is going to entertain you. Valuable and important people do not like to waste their time or give time to people that don't add value to them. So you have to understand, अगर आपके पास स्किल सेट नहीं है, अगर आप वैल्यू ऐड नहीं कर रहे हो, तो आप वही टाइप के लोगों को अट्रैक्ट करोगे. अगर आपके पास स्किल सेट है और अगर आप एक वैल्यूएबल पर्सन हो, तो यू विल अट्रैक्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंड सक्सेसफुल पीपल. सो दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सो अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल दैट आई मीट, वो लोग मुझे बोलते हैं दैट ओके, आई एम प्लानिंग टू कम टू दुबई, आई नो दिस गाय एक्सेट्रा. एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल दैट टॉक अबाउट आर जस्ट लो लेवल पीपल, यू नो. So I'm not trying to demean anyone, but a lot of people think that they have network with great people, but they don't know the reality. So this is also a very big disadvantage, or I would say drawback, of networking from India, right? So from India, you don't know what exactly is going down over here. So it's very difficult to know whether you have actually networked with the right person or not. So it's also again very easy to get scammed by someone who claims to be someone, but they are not. So building a network is going to be the most challenging, but yet the most important thing that you will ever do. So the third most important thing is absolutely network. So now just sharing my experience how I built my network. So again, I would say I was quite lucky when it came to this, because Ramesh bhai, my mentor, he's basically from the same hometown. So when he was back in India last year, he met my uncle, and my uncle recommended my name, that okay, this is my nephew and ये YouTube videos बनाता है, he's on trading and all finances, and he saw my YouTube channel and he fixed a meeting with me the next day. We met and he told me, you don't belong over here, you should come to Dubai. And in a week I was in Dubai. So just imagine the level of execution I gave to that, the level of thought I gave to that, even though it's very difficult for someone to take a decision like that, but I wasted absolutely no time. And that also proves that I am a man of my word and I'm not scared to take risks. And I'm 100% sure that that's the moment my mentor was highly impressed by me, because taking a decision is not a joke, and me taking that decision just proves that I am a man of my words and I like to execute. So obviously, if you are given such an opportunity by someone, do not think about it, just go ahead and take it, because even if things don't work out, it will at least prove that your value to that person, and in the near future, if agar unko kuch karna hoga, you will be the first person that they will reach out to, because they know you are an executor. Okay, so that's the most important thing, obviously, that you need a network. Okay, now the fourth point, coming to the fourth point that you need is knowledge. So you need to be well versed with where you are exactly going, what are the laws, what you should do and what you should not do, वीजा का कॉस्ट क्या है, क्या करना पड़ेगा, कौन सा वीजा लेना पड़ेगा, क्या परमिट्स लेना पड़ेगा, क्या नहीं लेना पड़ेगा, कौन सा लाइसेंस लेना पड़ेगा, नहीं लेना पड़ेगा. These are very critical and important things, because you cannot come to Dubai and you cannot just go on the road and spit, you cannot just go on the road and abuse someone, because you will end up in jail. So doing your research and gaining knowledge about where exactly you are going is very important. So for me, I did my research, and actually I ended up doing over research when it came to this, because in UAE the laws are very strict when it comes to a lot of things, but Dubai में थोड़ा सा कम है. So it is also said that अगर आप UAE में किसी को रिकॉर्ड करते हो कैमरा पे without their permission, you can be fined or you can be jailed. But Dubai mein it's not that strict. So you need to do your research, you need to do your due diligence ki where exactly you are going, what are the facilities that you will need to have, वीजा क्या है, कैसे करना पड़ेगा, ड्राइवर लाइसेंस कितने का है, क्या प्रॉब्लम है, क्या फाइन्स पड़ सकते हैं, क्या अवॉइड करना है, अगर टूरिस्ट वीजा पे आ रहे हो तो क्या अवॉइड करना है, क्या करना है. These are the things that are freely available on the internet, and if you want to save time, just network with the right person and they will also help you out with this. So that's another thing, that you need to have knowledge about where exactly you are going and what are the things that will be needed. So for example, if you are going to Canada, you need to know everything about Canada. PR कैसे मिलता है, टूरिस्ट वीजा कैसे मिलता है, स्टूडेंट वीजा कैसे मिलता है, ड्राइवर लाइसेंस का क्या कॉस्ट है, फिर उसके बाद मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, whatever, you get the point. So doing your research and gaining knowledge about the situation and the country that you are going to is also very important, which I personally did on my part. And I would like to also share out one experience of mine, that when I was doing my research and gaining knowledge about Dubai, I was just multiplying everything by 20, because right now dirham is 22-23, but at that point of time it was between 90 to 20, right? So मैं जब भी कुछ भी calculate करता था cost, so I was just directly multiplying it by 20, because that's the currency, and I used to think that हाँ ठीक है हो जाएगा. But when you actually arrive over here and when you actually start to spend money, you realize that how really how actually expensive it is, and trust me, it is too expensive. So whatever you think is going to be the estimated cost, just multiply that by 5 and that will be the actual estimated cost of living over here in Dubai. Because I personally thought that I'll be able to live off 1 lakh rupees over here, but that's absolutely not the case, because 80,000 to mera rent, right? So that's something that will help you out in order to calculate your estimated cost of living, and also that completely depends on your lifestyle. So there are some areas where I absolutely don't like to compromise, and maybe that's the reason why my cost of living is a little bit higher than average, but again, that completely depends on you. So knowledge is something very important. Now the last and I would say second important point after networking is having a plan. Now just knowing someone is not going to help you out. Obviously it will help you in certain ways, but if you don't have a plan and you don't know what you are exactly going to do after coming over here, then यहाँ पे you're basically a tourist, correct? So you need to have a very well laid out plan. Obviously when you are planning something, you cannot know every single thing obviously, and not everything is going to go as per your plan. कुछ सब कुछ आपके प्लान की तरह मुताबिक नहीं जाने वाला, बट आपको एक रफ आइडिया होना चाहिए कि मुझे क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है, मेरा अगला 3 महीने का प्लान क्या है, मेरा अगला 2 महीने का प्लान क्या है, what exactly am I going to do when I go there, and just come here, execute. Trust me, मेरे को 1 साल हो गया है दुबई में, but there are so many places that I have never gone to. पूरे पिछले 1 साल में Dubai is so famous for yachts and all. I think last week was the first ever time I was ever on a yacht. 1 साल से मैं yacht में नहीं गया. To this day I have not gone to the desert. I have not been to the desert safari. Then I have not been to the Museum of Future. I have not been to Burj Khalifa up, and I have not been to Al Ain, the big London Eye ka copy. So there are a lot of things or places that I still haven't done because my major focus is nothing but execution. Dubai में सबसे important और सबसे I would say crucial thing is that you get distracted. You get distracted by so many things because this is a very hot spot for tourists, right? So getting distracted over here is the easiest thing. So that's why you need to have a plan, and I would rather say not just Dubai but anywhere new that you go, it's going to be very easy to just get distracted because you will be coming across things that you don't know or that you have not seen before. So getting distracted is going to be relatively easy, right? So वो एक बहुत important चीज़ हो जाती है कि आपके पास एक plan होना चाहिए, आपको execute करना चाहिए. You have to go with that level of mindset कि I have to just work, put my head down, execute. मैं घूमने नहीं जा रहा हूँ. This is something that you should be clear with yourself in your mind. So these are the 5 most important things that helped me personally and that I made sure to do when I was coming to Dubai, and I am 100% sure that it will help you out as well. So this is exactly how I moved to Dubai at the age of 19 and still going strong, and I plan on settling over here for the rest of my life. So I hope this video helped, and I hope this video gave you value. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.